Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack.
It's time to begin. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We have a wonderful revelation for you all today. Well, the first bit is that Khan is currently feeling a little bit unwell, but not unwell enough to not take notes. So,
I'm still here, bitch.
Yeah. So to spare her throat, we're going to be having others take over her roles for the time being. That being said, we also have. Not even a special guest, like I guess just kind of like part of it now. Rindy, otherwise known as non-rigid UK Dairyman, has been intercepting us and pretending to be somebody else this entire time while watching the streams. They're a friend of the streams, and now they're just gonna kind of be here. I guess that's pretty cool.
If you're from my stream, you should recognize her from Danganronpa.
Or from the Undertale.
Rindy subscribed!
Yeah!
Yeah, someone
That's
gifted
pretty
the other
dope of you.
account a subscription, and it's not really fair. So
They're a fellow Rosa head.
Wait,
Let's
is
go by
that
Rosa Gamer.
is that why Rindy joined in on the Rosa thing despite not knowing?
Oh my god! That's why you haven't changed it yet!
How deep does this go?
Let's go Rosa heads.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, on Twitter I announced that we will be taking the hashtag Rosa Umineko pledge, in which we Rosify our Discord for the month of November. If you feel like joining, come to Orange Boy's Rosa Hell, where you can meet such individuals as Orange Rosa in a Mother's Hell, Nor Rosa Iblis, Rosa It Up, Rose AC Denton, and Rose Andy and more. Sorry, Rose
You guys
Andy.
kept this going.
We're keeping it going! Because currently we are on live Jenna Rosa and Rosa Theater.
I just swear, Rosa, why?
Alright, let's get this bitch pumping.
It's not coming up live on the Discord yet.
I'm getting it started now, Crimson. Be a big shot. Good luck.
Should we wait for B or continue?
Like I said, people can step in and pick up roles when they need to.
Alright.
I will say, I guess, probably just want to give Kyrie to B.
Yeah, she got B likes Kyrie a lot.
Yeah. Alright, here.
there was a thing where like you explained to Zaz how to help his friend set up the non-spoiler opening.
That was
and
you.
I was in the chat. I was going fucking. What the fuck is Vintage? What are you talking about? Oh
How long have you been going through this?
I think.
Oh wow, Umi's loud.
About 5 weeks.
Stream's loud?
Yeah, Umi's a little bit loud. At least that opening was.
I joined the stream once I passed you.
I'll turn it down just a smidgen. Alright, here, let's just get to that. There we go. Okay, then. And
Oh,
we
no.
are, tonight, we are back in the year 1986.
I hope you get to see my boy,
After an extended Angie session,
Angie, my beloved.
we get some non-Angie content, perhaps. I'm assuming everybody who's going to be here is here. Let's just go ahead and get right into it as soon as I have my stream preview ready to make sure I can see people saying things and whatnot. Also, I also thank you, Noir, for the 1 bit, as you are to do. And of course, Rendy for subscribing. It was already approaching 10 p.m. at night. That's redundant, but whatever. By now, the typhoon had wrapped itself around Rokinjima. Even the
Hey,
Rose
I can
Garden.
throw bennies too.
Hello? Oh, good.
Oh god, there you are. Very cool.
I think,
I just didn't want to have my mic explode on me like last time.
You're welcome.
Glad it works.
Even the Rose Garden that looked so beautiful midday was beaten down upon by the fierce winds and resisted with all its might, undulating and trying to keep the flowers from blowing away. In that Rose Garden was Shannon in the lead, Badler holding up an umbrella, Jessica and George carrying the sleeping Maria on his back, all heading for the guest house. We can at least make it to the guest house from here. Chan, it's fine. You should go back and rest.
Randy, you're up.
Yeah, I guess you're up for...
Don't worry, seeing you off is also part of my duty.
Who wants to be Jessica? Someone gave me like a
Stand-up
guy could be
conference is-
Jessica. No, you,
The
you-
fan
you-
conference is going on inside. Mom
Yes,
and
I could
Genji are
try.
probably getting stressed.
Nah, okay, this is fine.
Oh, okay.
This is fine.
Just, I don't mind, whatever you prefer.
Nah, go ahead, yeah, go ahead, Randy.
If we keep you, they'll misunderstand and think you were being lazy.
that's right. Just graciously accepting our offer might be the best way to avoid burdening people. Thank you, Shannon.
Not at all. Certainly, as Milady has said it, it is very tense inside the mansion today. Therefore, coming with all of you allowed me a breath of fresh air, and I've been able to relax a bit.
The family conference, huh? We went to all the trouble of chasing us kids out, so they're probably talking about something shady. I don't know.
Probably. I'm sure there's nothing we can do to help out. Just try to stay out of their way is probably the best way for us to be useful.
Heh. I'm sure it's all just money, money, money. Even though they all act like they're so rich most of the time, when it gets tough, they all start getting pushy. Why don't you just be graceful and split it evenly between everyone?
That'd be awesome. It'd be nice if I got a share too. If I got some too, I'd split it with Shan right away.
Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate the sentiment.
Shannon isn't greedy at all. Normally, girls of your age would have tons of things they want to buy.
I guess. But none of the things I want can be bought with money.
Oh, how unselfish. If you lined up all the things I wanted, all the gold in the world wouldn't be enough.
That's if you're talking about things that can be bought with money. I wonder what those things that can be bought with money that Shannon wants are. You have any idea, George Nisa?
Well, I wonder. I'm not Shannon, so how would I know?
I don't know either.
George and Shannon looked down, their faces red. Ballard also heard about what was going on with them, so he knew what Jessica was teasing him about. George Anarchy is a person I respect. I think you've met up with a really great person, Shannon-chan.
Yeah. I also feel relieved that we can leave Shannon to George Nissan.
Just stop teasing. It's a serious issue for us. More importantly, what about you, Jessica-chan? Have you gotten a little closer to Cancun?
What? So you and Cancun are like that?
Well... That's dirty, George. Twisting the conversation around like... That's dirty.
Oh.
Why
As
does
I
Shelly
had-
keep on?
Yeah.
Why does Shelly keep on going to stream Rosa?
Yo, stream Rosa. As they had an animated discussion with ups and downs, the four kids headed for the guest house. The annual family conference was extremely important to the Ishiramiya family, and this year seemed like it was going to be especially important. Apparently, the family head, Kinza, was personally going to be making a very serious announcement. Everyone other than the adults had been strictly ordered to leave. Ryler hadn't attended the family conference in 6 years, so he didn't really notice. But according to Jessica, there seemed to be a very tense atmosphere tonight. Completely different from a normal year. Common sense made it clear that Kinza, whose remaining life was short, was going to make some big announcement about the succession of the headship and the distribution of his fortune. But I'm surprised. I think that grandfather's actually going to make an appearance.
Oh. Rudy, do you actually want to take this? Because, like, if not, I will.
Whichever you prefer.
I will attempt an Angie, and if it's that bad, I will hand it off.
Let's see what you got, Joshy.
Oh, hey, B, did you notice someone new in the stream?
Hey, do you remember Non-Uke Dairyman?
Yes.
Look in Live General.
Wait, we need to find the GIF. Here, I'll post the GIF again.
Oh.
Read it. Watch
Read
the
this GIF. Watch the GIF.
Yeah, I remember
Be
my
sure
friend.
to read this GIF carefully.
My friend that I got to read Umineko. Remember B?
Have you noticed anybody new in the Yeah, you noticed anybody new in the theater today?
Fucking God.
The long con. We
The
did it.
long con.
Yeah, Rindy is.
Umineko.
Yeah, Rindy is the person I got to read Umineko. Yeah.
That's why Randy's in here today.
Oh, wow, Randy, holy shit.
Also, Khan's voice is shot, so Randy's gonna be. It's been.
B,
taken
why are
over
you in
from-
a drainage tunnel?
Listen, because I was still on my phone, but like, shoo, let me go get on my nice computer and shit. Hold up.
Good news, you've been granted Kyrie and Beatrice for the evening.
Oh, okay, we'll be right back.
Alright.
You could probably keep Kyrie, honestly.
Yeah, actually, you could probably just keep Kyrie, like, straight up. Alright, anyways. Alright, Josh, if you want to try out Angie, go for it.
I see. So, this is the witch's counterattack. Oh, fuck.
That'll work for now.
I wanted to leave the joker called Kinza face down a little longer, but it's probably about time to turn it over. Trump cards exist to be used.
Damn. I fear their grandfather was dead since the beginning, and a different 18th person had snuck in. Is now suddenly torn apart.
I had foreseen that you begin to doubt Kinza eventually. Yes, now your reasoning has all gone back to square one again, right? With this, your theory that Kinza was dead at the very beginning, and I was hiding as 18th person goes poof!
Fuck. But no way I'll lose heart. That's only one theory gone. I'll attack you like a storm. Like a tornado!
I'd have it no other way. Even the first one has not yet begun. It is far too early to give up.
That's right. And it's not like it was denied with the red truth. At this point in time, Battler's theory hasn't been defeated. It's too early to say that you've won.
Yeah, that's right. It's still too early for me to just swallow her story. Grandfather's supposed to finally appear. There's a chance that they'll talk about how his health has gotten worse and he won't appear at all. Uncle Kraus might be trying desperately to hide the fact that Grandfather really is dead until the last second.
Ha! I see. You can also think of it that way. Do as you please. It'll be resolved soon. Very soon.
All the relatives in Nanjo could be seen in the dining hall. Nanjo sat alone, quietly watching the wind and rain outside. Kraus sat down on the seat of his own rank, with Natsuhi standing motionlessly at his side. The other siblings were gathered at the opposite ends of the table, whispering to each other.
Is that true?
Who wants to be Rosa Umineko?
Hey Zaz, do you want to be Rosa? Zaz, do you want to be Rosa?
Yeah.
It'd be really funny.
I can't believe I'm still in shock that Rindy's been playing me the whole fucking time.
But I have to
Go ahead, Zaz. Hit it like Rosa hits her daughter.
I have to save myself.
I know you're
Go ahead, Zaz.
I have to say you're really bad at this. Even if
Let's let
that's
Zaz.
specifically.
I have to save my voice for Burncastle though.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And she might not show up this chapter.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you don't want to be Rosa, I'll fucking do Rosa. All right.
Go ahead and do Rosa.
Yes. Maria said the person who gave her the umbrella was Father.
What in the world? In other words, our strategy has collapsed from the roots.
Oh fuck!
You forgot the convoy says all the ladies.
All the moms.
Oh my god.
Alright, AC, go.
Not just our strategy.
There we go.
Since Father is healthy and has said he'll make an announcement of himself, our trivial bargaining with Nissan was completely pointless.
Yep. That old bastard. Why couldn't he have just shown himself right away without making a show of it? Thanks to that, we've just been cornering with Aniki uselessly.
Maybe he wanted to test us on that point. I might not be one to talk since we aren't related by blood, but your father is very intelligent, correct?
AC.
Oh fuck! I forgot I was able. Our arguments during the day were probably overheard by one of the servants and reported to Father.
I mean, all things considered, I don't think like Rita's not gonna have a chance to talk for a while. So if she wants to be Ava, she could.
Who?
Rindy.
Rindy.
Because like
Sure.
being perfectly honest, like Shannon and Jessica are not going to be in this for a little bit.
Well, what about Natsui?
Oh yeah, you want me Nazi?
I don't mind. Whatever you prefer.
Who wants to be the trad wife?
All right, you can be Nazi. AC, keep it going.
Do I get a roll? Or not?
Alright.
Oh yeah, I think we've established who needs to be who. So everything
Fair enough.
Alright, does Mike sound good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good to go.
Cool. Our arguments during the day were probably overheard by one of the servants and reported to Father. Incredible. The fact that we were making a fuss with the Father's inheritance as our goal is now right in the open. Just incredible.
Ava uncharacteristically held her head, dejected. If, as Kyrie had said, everything had been going according to Kinzo's plans from the beginning, and this is a huge setup that had been kept up for over a year, trying to find the siblings' true intentions, then they had fallen for it completely.
We still don't know for sure that it's reached Father's ears.
No, it definitely has. I'm sorry, I am so not used to this. Everyone but Nissan claimed that Father was dead, and none of us believed in Father's good health. It's already over. Father will make an announcement. Nissan will become the successor, and he'll say that we aren't even qualified to wear the one wing.
Nissan, get a hold of yourself.
Rosa-san. I wonder if Maria really received that umbrella from Father.
Huh? What do you mean?
Maria-chan might have seen Father. However, we haven't seen him. Maria-chan only claims to have seen him.
What are you saying? Are you saying Maria is lying?
Calm down, Rosa. Maria-chan didn't necessarily lie. Still, she's an innocent kid, right? For example, if Genji-san came up to her and said something like, "I was told by your grandfather to hand this to you, Maria-sama," then even if Maria-chan hadn't been dead, she still might say that she got an umbrella from him, right?
That's right. That sure could work.
Sorry, just choked on saliva. What was it Maria-chan said? Grandfather came and handed me the umbrella.
Yes, that's what she said. She clearly said that she received an umbrella directly from Grandfather.
Directly, huh? And then was stuck.
They often say that bad thinking is no better than sleeping. If you think about it a bit, all this about the umbrella is a trivial problem.
Why is that? Couldn't Maria-chan been bribed by Nissan to lie and say something that made it seem like Father was in good health? There's no evidence that Father actually handed the umbrella to her.
Regardless of whom Maria-chan received the umbrella from, assuming she was even given an umbrella in the first place, Father will appear very soon. Once Father's in front of us, the problem with the umbrella will be completely trivial. In other words, this is not the time to gossip about the umbrella issue.
What do you mean this isn't the time?
I see. I got it. That's probably what Kyrie-san's saying. Father is supposed to come here very soon. But the chance still remains that he'll get mad again and won't show up, right?
I see. That's true. Maybe Nissan just said that Father was going to appear at random in a desperate bid to buy time against our investigation. Father really is dead already. And Nissan's still lying and saying he's healthy.
In short, if Father appears, then no schemes will be effective. There's no need to even think about that case. We're fish on the chopping board. We'd have no choice but to leave fate to the heavens and negotiate directly with Father. That means we'd have no choice but to let him clobber us with his fist, then prostrate ourselves and beg for money. But on the other hand, if Father doesn't appear, then our primary strategy hasn't been hampered in the least.
Oh fuck, that's me. I see. In short, no matter which way it goes, there's absolutely no need to get flustered now.
That's it. If Father shows up, then we just have to carry out the normal family conference. If he doesn't, then we just have to keep on investigating Cross-san.
We can't let him talk his way out of it. Like it, if he says Father's mood... let me restart that. Like if he says Father's mood has suddenly gotten worse.
It seems that what we should really be trying to figure out is what scheme Nissan is going to try and trick us with. The way he just doesn't know how to give up is something I know better than anyone.
Your father is well. We'll prostrate ourselves and beg for money. If it's a farce of croissants, then we'll continue our ugly sibling fight. It sounds like this year's family conference is going to be just wonderful.
Yep. So, bad thinking's no better than sleeping, huh? It's almost 22 p.m. Should we press Anarchy?
Rudolph and the rest looked at Kraus. He was sitting down firmly. Looked like he was awaiting Kinza's arrival with an air of composure. They couldn't tell if he really was composed, or if he was scheming about how to tie together his lie.
Dear.
I just realized, like, me saying AC should do it was like the ultimate battle of the bulge, because AC loves shy girls, but Rindy is a proud bottom, so it kind of goes either way.
Just immediately just dropping the fact Rindy's a bottom. First Umineko
come on, we've done that in other streams.
First Umineko stream.
Really? Are you saying that non-dairy Uke man is a bot?
Oh yeah, you didn't figure out the entire soft submissive milky
Definitely
boys.
okay.
Alright.
Anyways.
Calm yourself. We won't get anywhere by making a fuss after all this. Let's leave it to Genji-san.
It's almost 10, isn't it?
No, it's
This is the
almost
time.
22.
This is the time that had been set for tonight's family conference to open. And there was the time that the Yoshimiya family head needed to appear. Right then they heard the sound of footsteps approaching from the hall. There were multiple sets. Natsuhi raised her head, relieved. But because of the sound of a knock, her expression was filled with disappointment. Because Kinzo probably wouldn't have knocked.
Please excuse us. I have finished closing up the mansion for the night.
It was Goda and Kumasawa. Unlike the powerful Goda, it was rare for Kumasawa, with her old body, to be forced to work this late. Of course, Kraus also seemed to know that.
I knew that. Indeed. Good work. Good work. My apologies for making you work at such a time, Kumasawa-san.
It's
Jelly.
nothing. I may not look it, but staying up late is still one of my specialties. Oh. Fuck yeah, I remember how to do her voice.
Would it be okay to at least let Kumasawa leave without being an observer? It really will be difficult on her body, I imagine.
The order was to gather all of the servants as well. I cannot disobey.
Tonight's family conference was clearly different from normal. On a normal year, no one was allowed to attend except family members. To have the servants present for such a thing was unthinkable. But this year was different. All the servants were told to attend. Of course, they were not allowed to talk. They were there as observers. Just what in the world was happening that needed to be observed by 5 servants? Even Kraus didn't know.
Okay. Oh. I don't look it, but I'm good at staying up late. Didn't I just fucking say this line? If you stuff yourself with mackerel too, Krasama, you'll be more manly at night.
I see you're still in high spirits. I'm sure you'll be working in such high spirits until you're 100.
Madam, forgive my arrogance, but I prepared a light snack. I can serve it at any time, so feel free to order it.
Thank you. You really are my... Wait, hold on. You really are considerate. Please offer refills of coffee to the others.
Certainly.
After nodding, Gouda took the pot towards the relatives gathered at the other end of the table. As he did, more footsteps approached from the hallway. It was a single set, and it was light. Even before the knock, they could imagine who it was.
Oh.
Randy.
Excuse me. I've taken the children to the guest house. Good work. Tonight is a special evening. Make sure you stay alert. Yes. Certainly, madam.
Genji had gone with Cannon to meet Kinzo. There was still no sign of their return. The hand of the clock passed 10 slightly. Once sure of that, Ava spoke to Kraus.
Nissan. It's time. Are you still not going to start the family conference?
The arrival of the guest of honor has been delayed. Wait a short while.
How long?
A short while.
Sorry, but time's up. I won't have you saying, Father, it hasn't quite shown up yet, over and over until dawn.
How could I make a promise about the time Father shows up? Why are you in such a rush? Why not drink some tea and calm down for now? Anarchy, we're gathered here for a family conference. Not a farce. We'll wait 30 more minutes. But if that doesn't work, you'll let us break into the study, okay?
Break into? Such an action would be quite lacking respect for the head. See?
Oh, fuck. Oh, right, our apologies. You'll be good for 30 more minutes. I look forward to seeing if you can keep that same smile up 30 minutes from now.
So you honestly believe that Father is dead?
I have no desire to discuss that now. We can wait until Father comes here. There's absolutely no need for me to argue you down, Nissan.
The Ushirimiya headship will be passed on to the proper person in the proper manner. And no matter what you may scheme, you cannot resist. Of course, the same goes for me.
What are you trying to say? And after bragging all these years about being the successor yourself?
I'll turn your own words back on you. I have no desire to discuss that now. All that matters is for Father to come here and proclaim it with his own mouth. There's absolutely no need for me to argue you down. Right?
Kraus casually turned Ava's words back on her. Of course, that added oil to Ava's anger. But it didn't ignite. Because in that instant, the sound of a very loud knock rang out. Both Genji and Cannon were usually very reserved when they knocked. They wouldn't hit the door with such a violent strength. It's like a judge's gavel slamming down in a call for silence. So everything went quiet. Everyone. The door opened slightly, and Genji showed himself. Then he spoke with a serious tone different from his usual one. That wasn't the tone he used when carrying out his duties. The tone he used when he was speaking for Kinzo himself. So just by hearing Genji speak like that, the siblings were struck with a sudden tension.
Take your seats, everyone.
At those words, the dining hall was wrapped in total silence, and everyone hurriedly returned to their designated seats. It was as though students who had been bustling around just before homeroom had suddenly returned to their seats when the teacher came. And it might have even looked humorous, but there was no way anyone would joke about it. Everyone sat in order, and Shannon, Goda, and Kumasawa stood up straight in a row by the wall.
The head of the glorious Oshirimiya family, and Lord of Rokenjima, the island that sparkles gold. Lord Oshirimiya Kinzo has arrived.
Of the double doors that led to the dining hall, Genji opened the right door from the inside, and Cannon opened the left door from the outside.
Yo, my boys.
And, welcomed by a respectful bow from those two, majestically fluttering his cape, Kinzo appeared. Kinzo's gait had a dignified weight to it, and it was hard to believe that he had reportedly been at the end of his life. Genji pulled back Kinzo's seat and motioned for him to sit. But Kinzo stayed standing, signaling with his chin for Genji to move back.
Welcome to Rokenjima, ladies and gentlemen. Why the frightened face, Ava?
No, sorry, I was finishing something up. Anyway, no, well, why would I be frightened? I'm just relieved to find you in such excellent spirits, Father.
Holy shit, he's in the void.
Ava, you're as amusing as ever, aren't you? Why don't you just honestly say how frustrated you are at losing your bet with Kraus? You can't say it, can you?
Ava realized that their conversation during the day had indeed been leaked to Kinzo, and she hung her head, turning red.
Well then, my sons and daughters and their companions, tonight I shall make an important announcement regarding my inheritance, and the succession that you all seem so keen on. But first, I must tell you how incredibly disappointed I am. After all, until this very day, no one has been able to solve the riddle of the epitaph.
Even though Kinzo said he was disappointed, a condescending smile rose to his face, as though there was no way the likes of these could have solved it, and his gaze passed through all of them.
I had planned to hand over everything to the one who could solve it. But none have been able to solve it before today. And here we stand, with nothing of mine passed down to anyone. How shameful! Think that no one among you has come forward with the qualifications to succeed me. How truly disappointing, and shameful, and pathetic!
The siblings hung their heads in silence. Of course, they would have solved it if they could. Sure, they couldn't deny that they'd wasted a golden opportunity, but it was just so hard.
Therefore, I am proclaiming here and now that I will suspend the use of the epitaph's riddle as a method of choosing my successor. In short, time's up. This is game over. And what a shame for you all. Even though it should have given you all an equal and fair chance, that's gone now.
It truly sounded like Kinzo was making a victory proclamation.
In that case, will my oldest son Kraus succeed the headship? The answer is no!
What?
You understand, right, Kraus? I certainly gave you the title of successor, but all you did was let it go to your head. Do you know what a successor is?
It means the person who will inherit your position after you, father.
Wrong! The position of successor isn't something that's guaranteed by the current head at all!
Wrong definitely didn't get picked up.
Wrong! Listen up, Kraus. I won't tell you this again. A successor is what you call someone who finds everyone else who's after the headship, thoroughly breaks their noses, so they can never disobey him again.
Kinzo?
It's still you.
Oh, it's fucking... Oh god, that's a Kraus, sorry.
This is not only something that can be said of the headship. Same with money. A rich person doesn't mean someone who has money. It means someone who crushes everyone, who had more money than himself, and who scrabbles together more money than anyone else. It's the same with talent. A genius is not what you call a person blessed with talent. It means a person who crushes everyone with more of the talent than themselves. A person who can coerce geniuses and all the people to call them using strength and charisma. You have a mistaken impression when it comes to all of these things. So, you're not the right caliber to be my successor.
I'll take your words to heart.
Perhaps that truly was Kinzo's philosophy. As a result of faithfully carrying out that rant-like philosophy of his, Kinzo had glorified the Ashurmia family to the state it was in today. Maybe hard to imagine after his immersion in the occult in recent years. But the brutally overbearing outlook was no more or less than Ashurmia Kinzo's charisma and aura.
Such an unsatisfactory person not qualified to inherit everything of the Ashurmia family. In that case, is Ava, Rudolph, or Rosa qualified? Again, no! You were able to solve the riddle. You were also able to use a scheme to drag Kraus down. All the three of you managed to do was gather together in a united front to try to extort money from Kraus. And even that scheme was thoughtless. You can't even corner Kraus all by himself. There could be nothing more shameful. You lack the avarice to steal away the position of successor by any means. In order to get what you want, you should have sacrificed everything, becoming as covetous and greedy as possible. The goddess of luck smiles upon the greedy. You three don't have that wild spirit. Ours unfit for the succession, as Kraus is.
Ava and the rest had no words to respond with, and they couldn't calculate what it was Kinzo was about to say. Was Kinzo actually planning to proclaim that no one would succeed the headship? If so, there were Ava, Rosa and Rudolph's advantage. After all, in the end, they just have to renegotiate everything among the siblings after Kinzo's death, splitting the inheritance evenly. It would surely be more troublesome if a specific person's name was raised and proclaimed to be the successor. But would Kinzo really see something to benefit any of the 4 siblings after demeaning them so much?
You don't think he's going to say that because no one will succeed him, right? He'll donate all of his fortune to charity or something, right?
I'm afraid I wouldn't put it past, Father.
The blood's just risen to his head. We can't do anything but let him talk for now. Well then, Father. What thoughts do you have regarding the succession of the headship?
Since I am so utterly disappointed in all of you, I've lost the desire to hand it over to anyone. Therefore, the Ushurmia family will end here. It ends with my generation.
That cannot.
The Ushurmia family was crushed long ago in that earthquake. The current Ushurmia family is nothing but an illusion of the gold I'm glimpsing for an instant. The likes of which will end when I awaken from my slumber. Everything in this world is a dream, an illusion. Life's but a daydream before the awakening called death. Ah, yes. That's how it was from the beginning. That I should lose everything when I die was part of Beatrice's contract and her curse. As if I let you, Beatrice. I will be the one who captures you. Tonight, that goal will be realized.
For a while, Kinzo was overcome with cackling and his eyes bulged. Whenever he talked about Beatrice, it was always both eloquent and insane. I almost choked on my spit.
Foolish children of yourselves are daydreams. It's as though you were never there from the beginning. Disappear. Wake up. Disappear from the doze of the truth that I am. You are failures that have not built up anything that makes you worthy to succeed me.
Kinzo-san. Inform me.
What is it, my friend?
Nanjo nervously raised his hand, asking to speak. Kinzo allowed him to.
I understand how you feel, Kinzo-san. Please don't breathe on my face. Kinzo-san, because you love your children.
Oh man, it's hard. Man, I forgot how hard it was to do.
You expect a lot from them. And as a parent and grandparent myself, I understand how parental affection can make you feel as though your expectations were betrayed. However, you are extraordinary, Kinzo-san. A genius. Isn't saying that it's only natural for them to catch up to you is a little harsh? Despite that, Kraus-san, Eva-san, Rudolph-san, and Rosa-san, and all of their partners have done their very best to catch up with you.
Oh! And just how much money have they built up with this? Doing their best. After these cowards fail completely in ventures and gain debt, and still try to sponge off me, how can you say that they did their very best? Money is the crystallization of everything in the world. If you cannot grasp that, then you cannot grasp the world! If a life cannot strongly grasp this world, it doesn't deserve to live! Disappear! Disappear from my life and reality!
That's a reckless argument. By that logic, even I must not live. Even so, I believe that the time I spent playing chess with you was a worthwhile for both of us, Kinzo-san. You should know better than anyone else that there are many things in the world that cannot be bought with money.
As the siblings motionlessly hung their heads, they cheered Nanjo on inside their hearts. Not one of the siblings could offer their opinions in front of Kinzo in a rage, but Kinzo's close friend, Nanjo alone, was allowed to. Even though Kinzo had raged so fiercely, after being admonished by Nanjo, he nodded several times as though in agreement. This surprisingly obedient side of him might have seemed cute, but there was no one here who could laugh.
It may be true that your children haven't built up as great a fortune as you have, Kinzo-san. Though, even so, they're rich enough to make me jealous. But besides money, they have also built up many things that cannot be bought with money. When it comes to that, they are in no way inferior to you, Kinzo-san.
Oh. And what do you claim they have built up that cannot be bought with money?
Happiness. Family. They found wonderful partners and had children, and each has built up their own happy homes. They have glorified your family name and have brought back grandchildren. Grandchildren are wonderful. We older people can look at these young grandchildren who will live on into the new era that we will not even be given a chance to see. And in them, we can imagine an endless future. Isn't that the sole entertainment we have in our old age? Remember, Kinzo-san. Remember your joy when they first brought back their grandchildren? Your children and your grandchildren will carry on your great work.
Oh god, man, give me a sec.
Great works unto the future generations, setting an example. That is something they have, that is something that an individual cannot accomplish, no matter how much money they have.
The siblings all nodded in agreement. Certainly Kinzo had looked happy when his grandchildren had just been born. Back when he still had some sanity in his heart. However, did Kinzo's heart still contain a human's warmth?
In other words, in exchange for the vast riches I created, instead of gaining money, I have gained my grandchildren.
No, that's not what I meant.
So in exchange for the several tens of billions in wealth that I have built up, I have gained a single grandchild from each of my children. This is wonderful! So I've created a single life using 10 billion yen. That's how it is. Interesting. Truly an interesting example in the alchemical sense. Right. Oh, what valuable grandchildren. Wonderful, wonderful! Is that right, Kraus? Is your daughter worth 10 billion yen?
Kraus couldn't answer instantly. It wasn't that he didn't have the confidence in his daughter. It was because he didn't have a clue what Kinzo was trying to test him with in this question. But when Natsuhi was then pressed for an answer, she responded, breaking Krause's silence with an answer of her own interpretation.
Yes. Jessica is a daughter I wouldn't let go of even for 10 billion yen. In that sense, I believe she has a value that cannot be measured with money.
Oh. So you can say for certain that she's worth 10 billion. Oh. How about you, Ava? What about your George?
Since Natsuhi had answered that way, Ava naturally came up with her own answer as well. Even though Ava should have known better than to respond to a provocative question like this, she answered as well.
Yes, Father. George is worth 10 billion. No, even more than that. And it's not in the abstract sense of things money can't buy. George will certainly build up a fortune equal to his worth. You'll become a grandson worthy of carrying on your great works, Father.
Ava sent a glance at Hideyoshi and Natsuhi as if she scored a point. When she heard what Ava had said, Natsuhi was about to add more praise for her daughter, but stopped at a glare from Kraus.
I see. Then what about you, Rudolph? What about your battler?
Compared to George Kuhn, there's nothing about Battler I can brag about. If he was kidnapped and we were threatened with a ransom of 10 billion, I'd feel like sticking a bow on the guy and letting them have him. On top of that, he's an idiot and reckless. He talks about grand dreams and things that couldn't be done. I guess in that way he's a super idiot worth the equivalent of 10 billion normal idiots. But I'm sure that guy could do things that even a group of 10 billion average people couldn't do. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll fall flat on his face. The world isn't easy. But at the very least, there's no doubt that watching over his life will be more fun than looking at 10 billion average people.
Ava clicked her tongue at that clever style of speech. Probably matched Kinzo's tastes. Apparently Rudolph had done that on purpose, so he grinned back at her.
What of Maria?
Maria is my adorable and only daughter. Her value cannot be measured with money. That is all.
I see. Dreams in the future. Miracles and possibilities are the source of my magical power. No magic without hopes hold any strength. Meh. I cannot expect any more from you who have proven to be average. But I see. My grandchildren hold future possibilities. And expecting a magical miracle from them may be worthwhile. If you're saying that in this way, they are worth more than 10 billion. Yes. I can see where you're coming from.
When Kinzo got in a rage, he wouldn't let anyone speak up. But even so, he would sometimes accept something on his own, while yelling by himself, and change his own opinion. That's what this felt like to the siblings. Apparently, even though Kinzo had been disgusted by his unsuccessful children and had cast them away for being unfit for the inheritance of his title, or his fortune, he wasn't sure about his grandchildren. At this rate, he might soon say that the inheritance would go to his grandchildren instead of the siblings. As the siblings sat in fear of what their fickle and short-tempered father might suddenly think of next, they carefully watched his every move.
Let me change my thinking a little. I have absolutely no desire to hand over all I have to any of you. However, it'll be quite interesting to question the grandchildren to see if one of them is qualified. I've always thought of them as mere kids. But there's a chance I'll find a shining gem amongst them that will catch me off guard. And testing them for that would be... Yes. It would be a shame to abandon that final side trip of my remaining life. Well then, what shall I do?
Oh fuck no again. I can, with confidence, recommend George as someone fitting to fall after you.
Ava claimed that right away. Not Sophia looked like she was about to follow along, but Kraus gave her a look telling her to restrain herself, so she swallowed her words.
How bold! Then let us do this. I will individually question the grandchildren to see if they are qualified to succeed the Ashurmia family inheritance and wealth.
Father.
However, I do not mean by this that one of you will receive the headship indirectly. I have already lost hope in every one of you. I have nothing to give you now. Nothing! The ones I will question are the grandchildren, and the ones who might succeed me are the grandchildren. Make absolutely sure that you do not mistake this. Are we clear?
I shall obey Father's decision. Same here. I'll go along with what he decides. What about you, Aneki?
Of course. I believe Father will make a wise judgment.
I will also obey Father's decision.
I shall think of how to test my grandchildren, which means there is no longer any business of yours. After all, none of you are involved with the succession in any way now. So right here, right now, perhaps we should discuss a different matter that does involve you.
A different matter?
Indeed. That is tonight's true purpose. And the true purpose for this final Ashurmia family conference as well. I have no desire to hear your thoughts and opinions. I demand only your assistance. Assistance in my ceremony.
Your ceremony.
Quiet. Father is talking now.
Rudolph and the rest had automatically narrowed their brows at the occult-like word. Could he be planning to start some strange ceremony involving Beatrice's resurrection again? And he wanted their assistance? What in the world was he planning to do? In the past, he had carried out many eccentricities that he called by the same name, such as them to burn a strange incense and filling the whole mansion with the stench. To the siblings, the ceremony was nothing more than one of the aged Kinzo's obnoxious hobbies.
Father? Just what do you mean by that?
If we can assist you, we'll do anything. Right, Rosa?
Yes. But what in the world is it?
A ceremony as inscribed by my epitaph. A ceremony to revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land. That witch who escaped her cage of flesh and sneeringly slipped through my fingers, I shall now capture and force into submission with my greatest hidden art. For that purpose, I must offer 13 people as sacrifices. Gathering 13 people's worth of sacrifices is no easy feat. But tonight is a family conference. Many adults have gathered on Rokinjima. There should be no other day on which to carry out this ceremony.
Taken literally, it sounded like he was telling them to become human sacrifices for the dark ceremony and die. Ridiculous. Was it some kind of metaphor? They didn't even have a clue what he was trying to illustrate. The siblings whispered together about what Kinzo was saying.
What's that going on about? Is this his usual sickness? Probably. Listen silently for now.
I'm sorry, Father. But I don't understand what you mean by that.
What is it you don't understand? I am making this extremely simple. I told you that I'll choose 13 of the humans on this island and offer them as sacrifices in a ceremony to revive Beatrice. Even worthless people like you can be very useful as sacrifices in my ceremony. Listen! It's not a joke or anything of the sort. This is my final bet. My final ceremony. The last one I will desire in my life. There are not more than 13 humans on this island. In short, that's a head count that I can easily satisfy the massive number of sacrifices that I require. Become the sacrifices for my ceremony.
Kinzo-san, you aren't serious about what you said back then, were you? It wasn't a joke.
Unusually for him, Nanjo's face changed color as he stood up and shouted. This wasn't the first time that Nanjo had heard all this dark talk about 13 sacrifices.
Sorry, my friend. That was no joke, no anything of the sort. It's what I bet my life on. The final ceremony. The final game that I will attempt. Yes, this is a game. If gaining my fortune and leaving the island is your goal, then there are only two ways to achieve it. Will you escape by being chosen one of the 13 sacrifices and spectacularly survive by finally solving the riddle of the epitaph and stopping the ceremony? Or will you kill me and thereby stop the ceremony? Those are your only two options.
By now everyone wasn't just whispering, but chattering and muttering away. Even the siblings noticed that Kinzo was beginning to act abnormally.
Father, are you a little tired? Genji-san, has father been drinking?
No. The master is sensible.
Sorry, Dad. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Dad's free to start up any weird ceremony he wants to revive the witch he loves. That's his hobby. But getting wrapped up in that and being made into a human sacrifice is a little more than I can handle.
Rudolph, why are you trying to interrupt Father?
What are you talking about, Aneki? You expect me to listen to something that shady and say, "Oh, really?"
Was the ceremony Kinzo had mentioned literally something disturbing? It was some kind of test to choose the successor. And the Rudolph had taken it literally. But Ava apparently still believed that it was something like a test or examination, to find a proper successor. But Kinzo responded with a clear smile.
Well then, that is all I have to say. No objections or opinions are necessary from you. I was simply awakened from my dream of having 4 unsuccessful children. To all of you, what will occur now before your very eyes may seem like a dream, an illusion, something that couldn't conceivably be of this world, and a world that defies understanding. But that itself is my reality. Now I will finally awaken from the shadow useless dream that all of you are. Come. The game has already begun, see? With this many of you here, I could take lives starting with anyone. So long, my unsuccessful children. And for the final and only time in your lives, be useful for my ceremony. Arise, Pendragon's memorial troops!
When Kinzo raised his arms high like an opera singer and yelled as though towards a packed audience. The air shattered like glass, and the outlines of 3 people who supposedly hadn't been invited to this island appeared.
Just 2:45 right here.
Siesta for 10 right here, yeah?
Who the fuck's voicing this character?
Shelly, you are 00.
No! Fuck! I reject this!
Why? Like, it said that he was good at
was
magic.
planned already.
Also, this was planned ahead of time.
Go ahead,
Like,
Shelly.
even before, after.
No, I think she's referring to. I think that she's referring to him summoning them.
He didn't have enough magical power for this bullshit!
But it said he did. It said in the. It said in the thing he was a good summoner. It said this directly.
Also, blonde bunny hot.
I mean, if you think about it, Kinzo's been studying magic for like 50 years, and
earlier
able
on.
to summon them after doing it for like 10 years or whatever. So it
To be
makes
fair,
sense.
earlier on, I believe it was Beatrice who said that he had issues summoning creatures and that it was unlikely that he'd be able to do it. So this does seem like a clear contradiction of things that have happened before, or at least been mentioned about magic before.
Didn't it say in his like profile thing, like the goldsmith profile, that he was great at summoning?
Isn't the island becoming more magical every time, which
I'm
allows
pretty
stuff
sure
like
it
that to
said
happen?
he's absurdly good at summoning and not
Hey,
much
his
else.
skills as a summoner
in
are
terms of
legendary for
summoning
the modern
ability,
age.
He surpasses Beatrice. That makes
Yeah, it
sense.
said that his summoning surpasses Beatrice. Kaneko, did you forget that part? Well,
Anyway, how do I voice this character?
Honestly, just do what you think fits.
Serious girl,
Chester
go.
00, Rot here, sir.
00.
She's 00. Like she's
No,
she's like
well,
she's
right.
she's the serious one.
She's the middle one.
Okay. Chester
voice
00, Rot here, sir.
Her voice is a little bit deeper than that.
Actually, a little deeper in your goal.
Do you want to just play her voice?
Yeah, sure.
What?
I can
No, I
just like
meant,
play
like,
her. I can
the
play her like her
official
actual
voice. Yeah,
in-game
Oh, we're gonna
voice
play it for
here.
a previous track.
And that's kind of a male voice. Yeah, I'll try to do the female voice.
That's 410.
Oh, that's 410.
410.
Yeah, there you go. Deeper.
I would say the voice
Hey,
you
can
were
play
using
that one
was
more
good.
time? I had the volume muted.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Wait, do you like? Are you not listening to anything that's going on?
No, I'm listening to you guys. I just don't have the background music because.
Wow, you are missing out. Holy shit.
Okay.
Wait, you've been not listening to the music this entire time?
Sometimes I do, just not
Wow.
right now.
The VM
Alright.
famous for its
Listening to one of the
soundtrack.
best soundtracks of all time.
It's very famous for its soundtrack.
Well, it's just
Three
one
Girls-
thing that I really can't focus on voices with like a soundtrack in the background. That's just me.
Really?
It is hard for me to do that.
I mean, you
Three.
could just turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I usually do. I'm just saying right now I had it muted.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
Three
I would say
girls
the
with
voice you were
strange
using worked.
forms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who were they? The humans were thrown off balance and their minds went blank. Because they spent all that time thinking they lost their last chance to survive.
You have permission to shoot 6 to death. Leave the choice of targets up to you. Begin your attack.
Restricted firing! Understood, sir! Thank you for granting us such excellent targets! Everyone, commence unrestricted firing!
I would say the first voice he went with was actually probably better.
Just like you can just do like a generic deep voice. It's fine.
I'd say the first voice actually does fit.
Yeah, I thought it fit really well.
Yeah, and I am
Okay.
someone who has completed.
I think the first voice kind of fit.
Let's just go with the first voice then. First one in ya. Yeah. When 410 scratched the air with her finger, a golden bow appeared in empty space, and she pulled its string. The golden arrow that had been readied there was fired without any hesitation. It flew around the room, leaving haphazard golden curves everywhere, and chose Natsuhi from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, pulverizing the left half of her face. Flesh and deep red blood scattered around, leaving massive red splatter marks on the relatives' faces and the pure white tablecloth. Silence fell, with a massive number of deep red spots left from the tablecloth. No one could understand why Natsuhi's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing while still sitting. And they watched on in silence. Those sitting on Natsuhi's right-hand side were silent for a relatively long time. Those sitting to her left were not, because the people sitting on that side had been shown her head had been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate. Could even see inside her.
Natsuhi?
One down. Natsuhi is it. A luckless woman to the end. Next.
0-0. Firing.
After scratching the empty air in the same way and readying her bow, 00 fired as well. After it flew around and around at high speeds like the golden arrow 410 had released, drawing a convoluted curve in the same manner. It smashed half of Rudolph's head in the same way he looked at Natsuhi in shock, killing him instantly. This time everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally. He realized that a fearsome murder had started, playing out right in front of them, just as Kinzo had said. It was that Kinzo would probably kill even more. All the adults who are still alive.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah.
But you just died. You have to do that's Krause's voice. I mean, you have to do Krause's voice, like, whoa. There we go. Shrill screams burst out until they didn't know what to do. So they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like goldfish.
Father, what do you think you're doing?
You fool! Run now!
As Eva asked Kinzo that in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses faster than anyone else, had risen up to his feet, pulled at her arm from behind. However, merciless fate chose for the third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. Just like the two before him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed. And the right side of his head, which had happened to be facing that direction at the time, had been blown away with its contents exposed like a watermelon or a pomegranate. So, still holding Eva, Hideyoshi slumped backwards and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Eva fell over backwards with him.
Dear? Dear? Yeah!
Ava screamed. It was only natural. The face she had been looking for had been half lost, and the crushed skull, the mashed brains, and the crushed jaw lay bare.
45, impact, it's a hit!
Spectacular! Fire again! 3 more remain!
Father? What is this supposed to be?
He crossed up forcefully and was about to rush Kinzo. Double O blocked him. With her slender-looking body, she held back Kraus with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist that and attack Kinzo. So Double O lifted Kraus by the nape of the neck and twisted into his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful, and Kraus was overcome with agony.
Everyone, run! Get the police! An ambulance! Quickly!
Everyone, let's escape! Escape!
Nanzo's sharp words finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. When Godo and Kumasawa each turned to escape from the dining hall first, 410 moved at an instant and appeared there, blocking the way.
You sure are slow, Nia. Do you think I'd let you escape, Nia?
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Does that even work?
Yeah, whatever.
It's good.
Help me!
Uda-san, duck!
Even though Godo didn't understand, he crouched where he had heard Kirie's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. Kirie taking a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down. With 410, still with a mocking expression, easily caught that wildly swung chair with a single hand.
You're in?
You gotta do the ch.
I thought I did, it did not pick up.
It did not pick up. You gotta do like exhale very loudly and then do a ch. Let's just say what happened.
Yeah.
What a scary woman, you. You really want to go to the same way as your husband that much?
In the cuff of her arm, when she had caught the chair, something like a shining golden snake appeared, wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power like a vice. And Kira realized that the being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually something that surpassed human knowledge and that a human could not even begin to oppose. Her head was filled with a fierce alarm bell that welled up from deep within her. Genji, Shannon, and Cannon, all the servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle, continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even with a scene like this before their eyes, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kiria thought that they managed to stay calm because they were with the enemy, and be given a guarantee that they wouldn't be killed. But as soon as she thought that, the side of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes.
Genji-san.
45 impact. It's a hit.
Ho-ho! Genji, how unfortunate. Rest in peace, my friend. Your death will not be wasted. You become one of the 13 keys essential to the resurrection of my beloved witch.
Half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell over, and sent a blood-red splatter out across the floor.
Genji-sama. We are nothing more than furniture. Sorry. Nothing more. Nothing more.
Meek and frustrated, no, resigned expressions on Shannon and Cannon's faces, one couldn't see any naive hopes that they'd be rescued. That's right. Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved, and who would be killed.
Well then, we'll go next now.
410 looked at Kyrie for a second. In a second, Kyrie's prepared for her own death. When she raided her golden bow in midair, 410 was looking at someone else over Kyrie's shoulder. So as imprudent as it was, Kyrie felt as though she had been saved. Again, an ugly, exploding, popping sound rang throughout the room. Who was it this time? When Kyrie turned to face the direction of that sound, she saw blood gushing from like a fountain, and Ava lying on her husband's chest. Of course, her face had been half smashed, just like her husband's. Lieutenant had mercilessly targeted Ava, and she had clung onto her husband's corpse, sobbing. Let go of Nissan! Let go of Nissan! Just stop it, father! Just stop this brutality!
Run away, Rosa!
Rosa's objection did not reach Kinzo, as he continued to laugh loudly at the blood-splattered dining hall. And she wasn't able to lessen Krause's pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by 00. So Rosa had no choice but to use force. She took a chair beside her and gave a warning. Father! Order her to let go of Nissan. To stop him from doing this.
I cannot. That's what you decided and prevented using your own power. Cut a path through your own fate with your own hands. You who have always hid behind the backs of others in fear. Let me see you overcome your weakness one last time in your life.
Father? Ah! The chair that Rosa had lifted up swung down at the father, who had reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-control in Rosa's life. What Kinzo had said might have been true. If she had grasped that courage much sooner, her life might have become more free, unrestrained by anybody else. Then there was a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hitting Kinzo could not have been this. With the chair still lifted up, she neatly lost half of her head and slumped over. Still holding Krause up with one hand, 00 had snuck her other hand out towards Rosa. The golden snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and had smashed into her head.
Defensive firing. I apologize for the courtesy of shooting you so close to you. I apologize for this courtesy of shooting so close to you, sir.
I care not. So this makes 6 people.
Yes, Lord Goldsmith. That makes 6 people.
When she indifferently communicated that, 00 let go of Kraus, whom she had been lifting up this whole time.
Indeed. So the sacrifices of the first twilight were Ava, Rudolph, Rosa, Natsuki, Hideyoshi, and Genji.
It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by blood splatter, and 6 unlucky victims lay where their heads brutally exploded. In a way that was fitting for the abnormal space. Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed out.
The curtain has finally risen. The ceremony to revive Beatrice has begun. You lucky ones who managed to escape the first twilight. Allow me to introduce you to one of my friends. Arise, my friend. Ronove.
When Kinzo called Ronove's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully.
Pleased to meet everyone. And good day to those of you who I haven't seen for a long time. It seems this place is once again spectacularly untidy.
Pay it no mind. The stimulant of this level to wake me from my daydream-like days. Allow me to introduce my friend, a reliable butler and one of the 72 great demons, Ronove.
I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Just who is he making that introduction to? Kraus and Kyrie, who were still down on their backsides, had Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa. Trying to look up to this middle-aged gentleman they didn't know in shock. Only Shannon and Cannon seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply.
So, I wasn't able to greet Genji. I hope he was at least able to fulfill his purpose painlessly.
Painlessly.
It was an innocent death from a direct hit to the head. He didn't even have time to feel the pain.
Is that so? Very well.
Allow me to introduce another friend. Arise, my friend, Virgilia!
Once again, a silhouette of someone that relatives didn't know appeared from empty space. She appeared in a refined dress while making an elegant greeting.
Thank you for summoning me, Master. Although I would rather not have been summoned into a bloody place such as this.
Allow me to introduce her, too. This is both my friend and my reliable counselor, Virgilia. I desire to borrow your grand power as the Witch of the Finite. Lend it to me.
Even if I tried to refuse, such a thing wouldn't be permitted for one subordinated by the power of your summonings. As you wish, Master.
But still, what a fearsome fellow. Do you think he summoned 3 of the Siesta Sister corps? Then me, even Virgilia. How frightening. Wait, whoa, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. The way it continued, I didn't even see the top line.
Yeah.
Even though it's only in the area of summoning, to think he surpasses Milady so thoroughly. How frightening. I can't help but shudder at the sheer mere blood.
Or to carry out Beatrice's resurrection ceremony, I shall give it my all as a summoner. This still isn't enough. And to perfectly succeed in the ceremony this time, I shall summon more. The Pendragon Memorial troops in Runavay and Virgilia. I can still call more. With my magical power, I can still call many more. Answer to my summons. One of the 72 demons, Gap.
Cap? You can even materialize her?
It probably means that the corrosion has advanced even more on this island. It had already proceeded far enough to materialize us. By now, we shouldn't be surprised no matter how great a demon he summons.
Has Rokenjima already been completely sucked into a parallel world, then? I hope he does not surrender.
He learned a lot last time, correct? After all this, he won't surrender over this match. Probably, I should say. Well then, shall we enjoy the stage we now stand upon? It seems the main character is the master this time. Let us expect a script of a different flavor than Milady's.
When Kenzo strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale light gathered in the emptied air, twisted, and the magical circle was drawn there with a deep red glow. This is Happy Maria.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yo, the steam! Oh.
And with the sound like glass breaking, a new demon could be seen there.
You did well to answer my call, Gap, one of the 72 great demons.
Gap.
I do not like her hair.
One of the 72 great demons, she is also Beatrice's friend, grants the power of teleportation as the mage requests it. She uses the wonderful power only for pranks. Her favorite trick is hiding keys in bags on busy mornings. However, the power of hers is is an ultimate weapon that risks delivering the lethal blow to a locked room mystery. Her queen bee-like strikes would probably penetrate all famous detectives and make them surrender. This is one hell of a place you've summoned me to. Did you call me to clean up this blood-stained room, Goldsmith? The literally devilish woman, wrapped up in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at us at the scene which should have made her cover her eyes and twisted her mouth in a grin.
To summon you for such a reason would be like using a cashmere muffler to mop the floor.
It's been a long time, Gap. To think that a great demon such as yourself has finally appeared on this island. Perhaps this island is finally submerging completely into fantasy.
This hostile cast is even more surprising than the gruesome state of the room. A full 3 Chiesta sisters, the great demon Ronave, the great witch Vigilia, and even me. What's going on? Is this pandemonium? Are you trying to start a concert from hell or something? I see. As a conductor for that, I couldn't think of anyone better than you, Goldsmith.
I will have your assistance as facilitator in the completion of my ceremony to resurrect Beatrice. You have no objections to my summoning contract, correct?
Of course not. There's no way I could resist the subordinating power of the legendary Great Summoner, Lord Goldsmith, who forced the famous Great Witch Beatrice to do his bidding. I'll assist you, though I will of course ask a fitting price. So, what's my first job?
Capture the cowards who made it through the first twilight. Fortunately, there are still 7 here, aren't there? Nanjo, Shannon, Cannon, Goda, Kumasawa, Kyrie, and Kraus. Oh, if these 7s are all offered as sacrifices, that's exactly 13 people. Now it's time for the second and later twilights to be carried out. Throw them into the cage of sacrifices.
A cashmere mop, huh? Understood. Skep shrugged her shoulders. She looked at Kraus, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then when she snapped her fingers, Kraus was swallowed up by the floor, as though a round pitfall had opened up beneath him.
Ooh, wow!
One down. There was no hole in the floor, but it certainly looked as though Kraus had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. Searching for her next prey, Gaps gazed across Kyrie's. She snapped her fingers. Kyrie jumped back as though repelled. Her instincts had been right. After all, in that place where she'd been until a second ago, a round, jet black hole had appeared, the same kind that had swallowed up Kraus. However, before she could catch her bounce, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kyrie had no way of eluding Gap's capture.
Oh, there he goes!
And she snapped her fingers again as shocked Nanja was swallowed up by the floor and disappeared. When she did it again, Fortuna let a short yell and jumped back.
I'm sorry, but fucking Christ, that was funny.
That was great.
Swallowing both Shannon and Cannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. Yeah. But because Fortuna jumped away from the door, that way was no longer blocked. Secretly aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through that door. Of course, Kumasawa had also escaped with lightning speed, chasing after Goda. As Gap snapped his finger over and over, round jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. However, they did nothing but drive the recklessly fleeing pair away and couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa had escaped in a matter of seconds. I've gotten slow. I let two get away.
Don't worry, we are currently locking on to the escapee targets.
Data link ready? Shall we snipe?
No, I cannot authorize it.
What?
Don't worry about it, just keep going.
They are precious sacrifices. Wait for Master's authorization.
Lord Goldsmith. We await your orders.
It's still too soon for the coming of the second twilight. The source of my magical power is whispering to me. It must not be now. Let them do as they please. Isn't as though they can escape from this island.
The source of the Master's magical power is noise and risk and tests of luck. Ho 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 ho! In other words, it means being fickle, it would seem.
Perhaps you could also put it that way. Good work, Gap. Let's steadily advance the ceremony from here on. Well then, that is that. Next are my grandchildren. I've blessed them to see whether they are qualified to become my successor. Let's see. How shall I test their qualifications?
If you decide that they're qualified, do you intend to abandon Beato's resurrection?
Of course. And despite that, I will test them. Perhaps a woman cannot understand that contradiction, nor my madness. Well, apparently men are as weird as ever. I don't get the very concept of playing around with risk.
Oh me, and I thought you loved that sort of thing.
Of course. If a man whispers to me about dangerous risks in love, I go head over heels. But only if he's hot.
Zing!
Bridget.
Be quiet.
Okay.
Try to refrain from whispering.
Truly noisy women. But at least they aren't boring. That's what makes summoning so pleasant. All of you will bear one side of the scales of noise and risk in my ceremony. That is the work I expect of you. 6 brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall and was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It's not unimaginable that, until just a second ago, 13 humans had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Kinzo lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declared the beginning of the night of overwhelmingly mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice, and open the door to the Golden Land.
Sorry to keep you.
I forgot, sorry.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Now the curtain finally rises on the first twilight. That Kenzo, I see he loves being flashy as usual. So, even that man who can be more persistent than anything when he follows you around can shine when he's on the stage.
Damn. I was killing in a grotesque way, as usual. Smashing half of their heads. The bad taste you witches and demons have always pisses me off.
Smashing half their heads, I see. So, she realized that, in the games up until now, that's been the most ideal method of killing.
Ideal? How's such a grotesque way of killing ideal? Isn't it, though? Try to remember the very first game. You! You're the new demon or whatever that just appeared. Damn. Does it mean that the witch's corrosion continued? There are even more creeps wandering around? The more the witch's corrosion advances, the more Kenjima tilts towards the spirit world. That's why strange, insane people keep appearing one by one. That has been closed off by the typhoon, so no human can leave it, much less appear as a new character to increase their numbers. But the more the corrosion advances, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now there might be more demons than humans among the characters appearing on this insane tale. Their numbers might be the thing that represents the mad corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And the corrosion hasn't just affected the number of people, but apparently their fashion sense as well. If the corrosion advances any further and even more weird people appear, just wonder what would they be wearing?
So scary, I can't even imagine. Ah, seriously. Give me a break. Don't make these weird guys increase in number anymore.
I can't do that. They'll keep increasing more and more. I'll defile the foolish close circle rule humans speak of over and over again. Welcome to my elegant game. Gap.
It's been a long time, Reach. Have you been well? Why do I ask? You look great. Have you gotten younger? You look 200 or 300 years younger than the last time I saw you. Ah, I see. The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced this Gap. Took a glance at me and then grinned as though she'd figured something out on her own. That smile felt openly obscene. I guess she's Beato's friend? Means you gotta be a creep among creeps. Either way, something about a close circle or whatever, but what does that mean?
Serial murder mystery novels that occur in places isolated from the outside world, like Kenjima is right now, are sometimes called closed circles. Since such a place is isolated from the outside, it's like a circle that's closed. Therefore, in general, the characters and suspects are limited in number. Having new suspect candidates added on one after the other from the outside circle goes against the etiquette of mystery novels. In other words, the witch is probably trying to discredit humans and the mystery genre itself.
Desecrate.
Or desecrate, sorry, my bad.
You're Gretel? I see. Look like a wise kid. I love kids like you. You taste so sweet and tantalizing.
Gross. Keep your jokes to your clothing.
It's Devilish Pretty's newest Jack the Ripper, Christmas Blood. Serving a style that a country bumpkin from the human world couldn't understand, okay?
At least we know it's well ventilated. Why didn't you add a gap to the head part as well? Let a little air into your brain.
Oh, snap!
Gap is always sensitive to the fashions of the spirit world. But this year's fad is truly bold.
This is Joshy. This is a little bit random, but in editing, if you ever do get around to that, by the way, I want you to, whenever Khan talks, I want you to put a feral ghoul from the Fallout series on the screen.
Wow. Feral ghoul.
Whatever. Don't feed that thing after midnight.
Con, I would like to ask you. Con, I would like to ask you to say a line. Can you please say, "What do you want, Smooth Skin"?
What do you want, Smooth Skin?
Yeah! Oh, that's actually, yeah, Con used to sound like a cool, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
Don't talk too much. We don't want you to damage your throat, though.
Yeah, that's not an insult, by the way. That is not an insult.
Yeah, no, it's just funny. Anyways.
Okay, if I actually do, then Joshy, please do that. I don't mind putting myself in humiliation
Right,
if it means I actually sound like something kick-ass.
Beatrice go.
Anyways, Gap is always sensitive to the fashions of the spirit world, but this year's fad is truly bold. I think I'll order one sometime.
For you, Rish, I'd recommend Ali Gray's Alice and the Graveyard. Let's go to 666 sometime soon and take a look at the clothes. Really should drop by the spirit world every now and then.
When this game is over, I'll be sure to do that.
Still, your two opponents are pretty cute, Rish. Looks like this kid has figured out the meaning of the corpses with their heads half smashed. Know what that is, girl? Snatch told me to remember the first game. What did that mean?
Just what it sounds like. Remember the first Twilight, the very first game. When the adults' corpses were found in the gardening shed with the magic circle drawn on it. Remember.
Thanks, Hajime.
Wait, am I doing Hajime?
A little bit, it's fine though.
Ah, fuck.
Episode 1. The first Twilight. Kraus, Rudolph, Curie, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda. All 6 of them had their heads pulverized and died.
At that time, there were 2 types of corpses. Some had their faces pulverized, and some had half of their faces pulverized.
That's right. The ones with their faces smashed were Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa, and Goda. The ones with the sides of their heads smashed were Cross and Shannon. At the time, I quickly created 2 types of corpses. But I realized that the former, more atrocious type was actually disadvantaged for me.
Disadvantageous to you? I see. So that's what that is. That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious. Made it harder to confirm the identity of each person. For example, at that time, Uncle Kraus and Shannon-chan had half their heads smashed. That was atrocious enough because half of their faces remained, it's easy to confirm their identities. But then the other 3 were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed, even I, as his son, can only guess by inference that it had to be Dad because of his clothes and the like. And sure, it remained vague until the end whether that really had been Dad's corpse. This reasoning battle had taken place during the first game as well. I probably have claimed that, since the identities of Dad and the rest's bodies were impossible to confirm, there's possibility that one was a fake corpse. After all, Beta didn't say anything in red during that game. Well done. Correct. A fake death is one of the basics of the mystery genre. Even if you make a doctor examine the corpse, you can't trust the results if you suspect him of being the culprit's accomplice. Therefore, corpses that can't guarantee a death for certain are always disadvantageous for the witch's side.
You can suspect fake deaths for all corpses, hypothesizing that one or more of them is the culprit for the crimes that follow. It's a move Battler doesn't like, but it's the most elementary move to use against a witch.
Yeah, that's right. That's why Beata started using the red. With the red truth, she can carry out a perfect autopsy.
That's how it is. Normally, for the first Twilight, I would use the red truth right away, confirming the death of these 6. However, as you know, my battle strategy this time is completely opposite of previous games, and now I'll use the red truth starvation tactics. Since you use it as a grounding from which to counterattack, I will not use the red easily. I'll make you come apart at the seams by using the red in just a single place and as rarely as possible. In the end, it means I will permit all rants regarding your guesswork for all the closed rooms. And I only have to smash one of those once with the red truth.
Even though you've always teased me once I start counterattacking, you now hold up back inside your shell. Quit kidding around.
At any rate, I don't want to use the red, I want to be stingy. I want to bully Battler. But how could I guarantee a death for certain without using red? I worried and I worried over it. Then Gap gave me an idea. It truly is a simple method.
I just pointed out something obvious and you hit upon the idea, Reish. I simply said that you only had to create corpses whose identity could be distinguished and whose complete death would be understood.
In short, I put those 2 things together. The face, which is necessary to distinguish their identity, and the pulverization of the head, the vessel for the soul, which is the perfect symbol of death. When I put those 2 parts neatly together, wonderful. I came up with the perfect answer of corpses with their heads half smashed.
I bet you 2 love color-coded bread and 2-colored ice cream. Sorry, 2-colored bread and 2-colored ice cream. He looks like a greedy kid.
At any rate, even if half of their heads are smashed, we shouldn't assume that they're dead at this point in time.
I get it. Since Beto's trying to act tough and is refusing to say anything in the red, you gotta suspect everything. course, I'm definitely not going to swallow the theory of magical mass murder by the Chester-ass Nachans. You sure have gotten imprudent. If this is the first game, you would have swallowed everything.
I wouldn't have anything less from a rival. Since there's fortunately no red now, he can imagine whatever he wants and reason over and over again as he likes. At the very end, at the very sweetest spot, I'll cut him down at once with the red truth.
Nice.
Wanna call
We're
it
gonna
there?
call it there. Yeah, let's call it there.
Call it there.
God damn it!
I think we should call it there.
I mean,
I just want to say you did great.
Thank you.
I mean, knowing Khan's luck, you'll definitely get another chance to be Beatrice.
That's not a dig at you, Khan.
I know. I just think you get sick very easily.
Oh
And,
yes, it's still her
if you can
luck.
Still, and with this, if you still, if you're like still able to take notes, we could probably just cover these roles as we do them.
I will say, I would actually say that B should actually probably switch out with AC for Eva. I feel like B could probably do that voice well.
I was going to say that B should just take Kyrie. Actually, Ava's pretty good too. Yeah.
I would say AC does work well for Ava. I just feel like it would actually probably fit B's voice.
Sure.
Well, you know, don't like me just using Kasumi's voice for Ava.
Wait, which character is
Well,
Kasumi?
hey, look,
Your
don't
sister.
worry. We
Damn
really
it,
don't.
Now
We
is
really,
not the time for the horny.
we really
It's fine
don't
for
have
horny
to,
right now.
Gap kind of bad though.
We really don't have to worry about Ava for a little while.
Oh yeah, she's kind of dead.
I have her face fucking blown
Not
off.
just kind of dead. She got lopped half, man.
I love fucking how it's like my boy Genji's back. Boom. He's gone.
It's like
But you
no,
got your
it shows,
boy
like,
Renault.
Kinzo is like it's
I got
so
my boy
sad.
Renovate, and I still got my boy Cannon.
I'm just imagining Genji being like, "It's so sad, Genji. It is so sad that you died of Ligma." Wait, who the fuck's Genji again? Ligma ball. It just gets sniped.
Jeez.
So I'm gonna assume, Con, that you probably can't really do thoughts. Unless you, like, I don't really know if we want to do typing out her thoughts and just reading them, or that seems like it might be a hassle.
I need a moment to process this chapter.
Hey,
Khan, can you say always watching Wazowski?
Always watching Wazowski.
Oh, that's actually on
That's
point.
fucking funny.
Hey! Damn, that actually did pretty sound much like Rosa.
what?
Wait, no, Rose, or... The monster from
Roz.
Monsters, Inc.
Roz.
It was Roz? Right,
Well, now
sorry.
we gotta edit like Roz and Rosa together.
No!
Okay, I'll do it later. Are we gonna skip discussion then?
Wait, Con, I would like to ask you, does it actually hurt to talk right now?
Kind of.
Okay, yeah, we're not
Okay, yeah,
doing
no.
it.
Yeah,
No, we don't
Wait.
want to.
Let's take a break.
Well then, since we're not gonna really, unless anyone else wants to discuss anything.
Looking at you, Bone.
Yeah, I might as well. I wrote some
And
stuff.
Robu?
Let me look through what I typed in. Trying to find where I started.
Oh, you're just gonna give Kyrie to B?
Yeah, sure. Honestly,
Do
like,
you mind, Con? To be fair, B doesn't have that many roles.
Plus, I
You
mean,
wouldn't
like,
mind giving up Kyrie, would you?
Also, like, yeah, we have enough. Like, Gon, you're doing literally every other mom in the game.
Yeah.
You're literally doing every other mom in the game. Might
It'd
be good
probably
to
help a bit to
diversify. Just
I think she left for a second because her dog was barking.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I have.
Okay.
So I just kind of came up with some questions more than anything that cannot be answered. I guess
sure.
like some people can put in their thoughts that don't know. But so I find it interesting that Kenzo can summon those that Beato is called furniture, which implies that there is a sharing system, or like furniture is not owned, it's just kind of a meaning of service, which I find interesting.
Yeah, I suggested a little while back that furniture can be called by any witch who wants to, or wizard, I guess. I guess warlock. I don't know.
I think they've
anyway.
used the word warlock before.
Okay, sure, but yeah, like Beatrice was satisfied with her goat demons and the other two, but Avatrice wanted to use the Chester sisters, and so does Kinzo.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess this already kind of has been shown that anybody can just summon these characters that have the ability to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any other thoughts, or should I move to my next point?
Well, nothing
All
on
right.
that. So go ahead.
So there's a part where where Virgilia is talking to Ronave, and unless I missed something, I think that she mentioned something about not wanting Battler to surrender. Although I think she says like him, like she implies Battler. I think. Did I get that right?
Would you like clarification?
If I can get clarification.
It's fairly cut and dry that she's referring to Battler.
Okay, so yes, it seems like. So I'm wondering if like her being summoned by Beatrice means that she's like in service to her, so she can have her own ulterior motives, that she was not doing that of her own desire.
So, Bone, you're basically saying Virgilia is like a double.
Virgilia. It's Virgilia.
Are you saying Virgilia and Gop aren't actually what they seem?
Anyway,
yes.
Basically, I'm just saying, I'm wondering why Virgilia was helping Beato there. My thought is that she was summoned just like Ronave was, and she referred to Kinzo as master. So does that imply that she had to serve Beatrice?
Well, no, yeah, because Kinzo is her master right now.
Well,
because
yeah, no, that's not the point, though. The point is, did Beato summon her, and does that mean that she has to serve Beato? My pencil.
I imagine. I mean, but those are witches, not furniture, so I don't know.
Can you be both?
I guess you could be a switch, yes.
That was a way to phrase it.
That was a.
Oh, you know what? You know it was intentional.
Yes, I know what that means.
Anyway, do you, Shelly Crimson Roboot? I believe that is all. No, have any thought? Oh, Simbard. Wait, I forget. Does Simbard? No, he's new to this, right? He's not Inner Circle.
I mean,
I love the idea of being like a witch or a furniture and if you're both, you're switch. I just love that.
Well, I mean, a Switch can be furniture. Like a
Wait, so you haven't read it, right?
Like a light Switch or a Nintendo Switch.
I have not.
Alright, so, yeah, I guess you guys don't really have any thoughts regarding that theory? Or, not really theory, but pondering moment?
Yeah,
I think I only have one question. Is that I actually do not remember the use of the word warlock throughout Umineko.
I thought that it was mentioned, like, once or something.
Now, here's the thing.
Maybe, like,
I could be wrong.
I think like it was
Kinzo
just like
is a magician. I think that's what they said.
Oh yeah, I think that I think the word warlock was used, but I don't think it was like used directly.
It's magic.
Anyway, so I guess Kumasawa wasn't Virgilia. That's something.
Not this time.
Weird, wasn't it?
Like I'm not sure if like she was actually free or if that was like a bit. Like I guess the idea was Kumasawa was never actually the same person as Virgilia.
I feel like this arc is just like the wacky arc in a way.
Really?
Because like, no, I'm not saying wacky as in funny. I think wacky as in just like batshit insane.
Like with how like there's like more stuff.
It's crazy.
There's more magical elements on the table. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean like I think
new
that like
summons.
without giving anything away, there were Higurashi arcs that were more or less crazy. And I feel like this is one of the crazy ones.
You mean
of
an arc when shit pops off?
Well, not so much as that, because nothing's really popped off, quote unquote. It's still the status quo of them dying. It's just the way that they died is fucking wild.
Oh, I mean, like they mentioned, also kind of Rindy mentioned that the island is getting more magical due to something called like witch corruption or something. So it's like, and they said, hey, more characters are gonna come. Kenzo's like, hey guys, are you excited for the new characters? We're gonna have more.
So basically, what you're saying is, as the loops go on, shit starts getting more and more and more wacky.
I'll neither confirm nor deny.
I would not be surprised if by the end of this, like the entire thing, Rukinjima just disappears.
Honestly,
or it turns into pudding or something stupid. Like it'll either go ridiculous, or there'll just be more murders.
Or who knows? Maybe in one loop, Beatrice fucking spears Kinzo with a unicorn.
I mean, I'm just referring to like
South Park reference.
That wasn't South Park. That was Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I saw that movie. It was good.
Anyway, so yeah, my main thought is like by the end of Umineko, I think that the kids are going to be on a boat, and that Rukinjima is going to be gone.
Honestly, is anyone else getting a kind of... Oh, sorry, Robot, you go first.
The gold never existed in the first place.
Sure, maybe. But is anyone else getting, like, with these... Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm completely off base, but this feels more like Danganronpa in the way that just suddenly people start dying.
Yeah, you get Danganronpa vibes?
Yeah. If you say so, I never got that vibe in the slightest.
I never really got that vibe when I was reading through this.
I mean, it's a whodunit. So
I mean, well, it's sort of like Danganronpa is always so like out there, and like this thing has been out there, but I feel like this time in particular, it's like the mask is off. It's going to go off the rails, and people are gonna fucking die.
So, who would be the Nagito of
Umineko? Wait, let's not, we can have that conversation after the stream.
Nagito is not allowed at the dinner table. Please take Nagito off the dinner table.
Umineko is a
Since you
good...
asked.
No, Umineko is a good piece of fiction. It doesn't have a Nagito.
Anyway.
I don't know what a Nagito is, and I'm trying my best not to know.
You are better off for it. I am envious of you.
Wait a minute. I think I actually do know who he is because I've seen Ultra Despair Girls. But...
Well, don't talk about Ultra Despair Girls. Josh wants to know nothing of that game.
Okay.
Because he's planning on going in completely blind.
I still don't understand why
Let's talk about Umineko
before anything more gets dropped.
Let's talk about good literature.
Okay, so basically that's my thoughts. I have no more stuff in notes. Do you, Shelly, Roboot, Crimson, anybody else? You got thoughts?
I'm
Gap's
good.
kind of hot.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
Jesus
I thought Gap
Christ.
was. I thought Gap's design in the VN was not really my thing, but I liked her design in the manga panels.
Yeah.
There is a slight difference.
Yeah.
The hair actually reminds me of a Yandere Sim character of all things.
Why?
I mean,
I know what that is. I saw that game's development for a while before I gave up.
What?
What?
There's a Yandere Sim character that looked like her.
I followed it too. I followed it too before it turned out that the guy that was making it is apparently a creep.
Let him finish his game. That's all I have to say.
I mean, he's kind of a creep, but let's not go into
He's a
that.
little creepy.
That's
But the question
Creep
is how many
is
of those
creepy
allegations
sex-
were real or not. But there's no point about that.
creepy
Yeah,
sex
but-
test aside. What about
Yeah, the
this
girl
whole
did
Kinzo
have purple
shenanigans?
hair, Con. It's just it was the same haircut.
Anyway, so continuing on, I think we got our thoughts out of the way, and I feel like we're about to get really off topic soon. So unless there's more, maybe we should end it there. Orange?
I think we're good.
Well, huh? Yeah, cool. We're good. We're end
I
up.
think
All
we're
right,
good.
cool. Sick. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.